All right, everybody, I've given it a little time to dry, and still looks really good. So I have the bottom part of a broom. It's a little bit stiffer bristle, and I've went around the base and made sure I had any unwanted shoe polish. And I've got my polyurethane, just a small foam brush, and I'm gonna just put a real light coat of polyurethane over this to it's gonna seal it, and it's gonna give it just a little bit of a shine. That's what I like to do. I don't put a real heavy coat on. Just enough is the way I like to do it. While I'm doing some of this, I'll give you all just a little bit of background on this deer. You'll notice the hook in the brow tine. He named this deer Hook because of that. And he had been hunting this deer for 3 years. He's an old buck. He's very smart. And in 3 years, he's been out in the daylight only one time. And he just by chance happened to be hunting this particular day and had a chance encounter during the day. I told him he was very lucky. Very lucky indeed. I like doing some of my stuff outside, especially things like this, where the wind will actually help to dry this. Just using a little at a time, trying to work it all in. And for the skull, I'm going to clean it just a little more before I actually bleach the skull. Sorry, that's my neighbors. Just carefully go around the base. It's a little more difficult when you've got all this gnarly, but that's all right. You just take your time. Make sure everything gets just a little coat. Flip it around to the back side. That looks great. All right, time for the other side. Another pretty cool feature I thought about this deer. This antler on both sides. This antler on both sides. It's like a knife. See how wide that is? Sharp in the front. Just a very unique deer. I'm very happy to get to work with him a little bit, especially knowing the history. He wouldn't take any other deer except for this one. He had his heart and soul made up on this deer. And it finally paid off for him. Got some holes in the horn or antler. Then after I get done with his antlers, I'm gonna let that dry. First out here in the wind, then I'll probably take it inside after a while and let it dry all night. I want to make sure it's good and dry before I work with it anymore. Then I'll clean it up just a little further, and I'll be ready to whiten the skull. Just a great deer. Got a couple of nice kickers coming off of it. Go right around the base. All right. I usually work my way down to the bases. I'll do the tines, the top of the tines, and I'll go down. That's just the way I like to do it, in case I have any that tries to run. It doesn't have anywhere to run to. All right. It looks really good. It looks like I've got all of it. Looking great. All right, we're gonna let this dry, and then I will start the whitening the skull, and I'm gonna clean it a little bit around the teeth and things before I go ahead and whiten it. But thank you for watching.